Training gym, FitWorkz in DeKalb, Illinois. Author of the book Eat by Color and the somewhat brand new Get Fit and Live Healthy. We got a new title coming out. It should be available by the holidays. More about that in the near future. Why do I have a quarter? Because that's how we decided whether or not we're going to be live on Meerkat or on Periscope today. You can find us on both at Eat by Color. Talking fast and detox. Are they necessary for fat loss? No, they're not. I've lost personally, from back in my fat boy pants and fat boy days, around 60 pounds, kept it off for over 15 years. I can safely, without doubt or question, say that I've never done a fast or a detox. So why does that come up, or why do people think you need to do a fast or a detox to lose weight? Well, usually the people saying you need to do that are selling something to help you do the fast or the detox, whether it's a tea, it's some herbs, it's vitamins, it's minerals, it's a cleanse, it's a whatever. They're selling something. So what's the skinny, haha, pun intended, so what's the skinny on selling that, or what's the skinny on, hey, the lady at church, or the lady at the gym, or the lady at the gymnastics place that my daughter goes to is saying that people that do it lose weight. So what's the skinny? The skinny is simple. If you didn't eat for a few days, you too would lose weight. And that's essentially what happens with a lot of the fast and detox products, programs, or whatever. Basically, you go on a liquid meal plan and you replace most of your food. And in doing so, you drastically reduce your calories and you also drastically reduce carbohydrates. And one thing that happens when we cut carbs, especially if we cut them almost completely out. Now, I'm not talking vegetable carbs, so people that are juicing, I don't want to hear, well, I still got my carbs. Oh, that's great. 1 gram of carbohydrate attracts 3 to 4 grams of water. It's kind of like a magnet. So you end up, if you cut carbs, you cut water weight, scale goes down, and that's why, eureka, holy cow, I did the fast or the detox, I'm down 8 pounds. Totally not necessary. I've never done it. I've lost over 60 pounds, kept it off for over 15 years. Most of my clients, and we have file cabinets, there's one behind all those Post-it notes right there, file cabinets full of client files back when we did things with pen and paper for clients that support they too have lost pounds, inches, fat, dress sizes, pant sizes, and they've never done a cleanser or detox. The next thing, rice is rice. Brown rice, white rice, doesn't matter. This is kind of like the, can I have regular pasta or should I have the whole wheat pasta? At the end of the day, that's the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't make a long-term approach to nutrition harder than it needs to be. Keep it simple. Rice is rice. Don't sweat it. If you have white rice instead of brown rice, at the end of the day, it's not really going to matter. If you have regular pasta, or what we would, most of us grew up eating, versus a whole grain pasta, is it going to matter? Sure, we can dig into the nuts and bolts and say there's a greater insulin impact, but at the end of the day, there's so many things you can spend your time on that are going to produce a better result. That I'm going to tell you, just eat whatever pasta you want to eat. Just be reasonable with it. Don't overdo it, and don't do it all the time. Sweating the small stuff. This is one thing. It's kind of like a penny wise, a dollar foolish, or however you want to look at it. We see a lot of clients, even some of the folks we're working with on Eat by Color, one of the initial hurdles for them to get over is, look, you know, like literally, if you have Eat by Color, if you want to do yourself a favor, 2 things. Flip to page 30. Right there, flip to Appendix A. There's 6 pages, starting right there in Appendix A, plus page 30, 7 pages. That's all you need. Just do it. Don't get hung up in the details. Don't sweat the brown versus white rice. Don't sweat the, I heard whole grain pasta, or I heard whole wheat pasta, or I heard protein pasta is better. Don't get hung up on that, man. Just flip to page 30 and execute. Execute today, execute the next day. Do that for 30 days, and you're going to see an amazing change. But don't worry, don't stress over the small stuff, because at the end of the day, the small stuff doesn't matter. The last thing we'll cover today, and no, it's not going to be Broken Ankle Bob. He's just hanging out on the desk today. Juicing. What are my thoughts on it? Tim, what's the name of that video?
Which one?
The guy that got fat again.
Oh, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead.
All right, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and then Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead Part 2. So the first one, he went on the juicing diet, lost a bunch of weight. Imagine that. You don't eat. You eat vegetables and some fruits that have gone through a juicer, at the end of the day, probably cut calories by, I don't know, 50 or 70% a day. I would guess, and I haven't seen the documentary, just relying on secondhand info from Tim, who works the camera as my lead trainer in our club. It sounds like he gained all the weight back. Well, lo and behold, if you take a short-term approach, i.e. if you go and you juice, and you can't juice forever, guess what's going to happen when you go back eating regular food? And you will go back to eating regular food. I don't know anybody that exists on juicing and juicing alone. Not to mention, I don't know how you could afford to buy enough vegetables. And anybody that's juiced a couple carrots, a cucumber, and whatever knows that a whole bunch goes in and not a lot comes out the other side. The bottom line is, if you can't do it forever, it doesn't matter. If you lost 20 pounds, just like back to the fast. If you lost 9 pounds in a week doing a fast, guess what's going to happen when you eat again? You're going to gain weight. And you're not going to not eat the rest of your life. So if you're watching this, keep it simple. Be realistic. Find that long-term approach, not a diet. You shouldn't be counting things. Eat by color. You don't have to count. Find that long-term lifestyle, long-term sustainable approach to health, wellness, and weight loss. And when you reach the weight loss, as you lose weight, as you improve your health and wellness, you're going to be much more likely to actually maintain it for the long term. Last thing, you can check us out on iTunes at Get Fit and Live Healthy. On iTunes at Get Fit and Live Healthy, there's like 120 some podcasts up, more going up every day. And then, this is crazy, but we've got like 700 or 800 videos on our YouTube channel. Everything from exercise, functional training, how do you do an exercise, nutrition, supplements, you name it. YouTube.com/FitWorkzDeKalb, YouTube.com/FitWorkzDeKalb. You can find me on the net at EatByColor or hashtag EatByColor. Ray Binkowski, author of the books, Eat by Color, Get Fit and Live Healthy, owner of Hybrid Training Gym, FitWorkz in DeKalb, Illinois.